If this message has found you, it did not do so by chance. You have indeed entered into a sacred world-line collision. This transmission is not intended for everyone. This is, I'm hearing, deliberately designed for a soul that has such a great level of self-awareness in regards to their manifestations in this realm and taking accountability for that, conscious and unconscious. And what I'm seeing is unconsciously ancestral wounds that you are now aware of and have successfully alchemized have been coming to the surface. This is encoded within the vessel that you've incarnated into, and you've learned how to hold space for it. This could definitely be fair. We're going to talk about it. The theme for today is the devil. So we'll go ahead and read this, but this is knowing that you were called forth by a very specific generational lineage, and you had adopted many matrix programs and belief systems. However, you were also equipped with the tools necessary, the gifts and abilities necessary. I'm hearing as an alchemical transformational powerhouse to, I'm hearing not just transcend this wound by looking at it from an ascended framework of viewing your life as you move through this existence, but your ancestors are also ascending through your ascended ways of thinking, feeling, and moving through this construct. And I'm hearing that is optimal navigation while having a human experience. So we're really going to dive into it deep today. This is knowing that your demons never really go away. You only learn to live above them. And growth is in rising your awareness to the point where this force within you no longer runs the show, okay? And this is a very localized aspect of yourself. So peace isn't going to be in the absence of struggle. That's not where it's going to be found. Your power lies in your ability to alchemize these internal, I'm hearing wounds that are being exercised right now. I'm hearing you've been running energy, so you've been running a lot of energy, and when challenges do surface, you are observing it from that neutral 0 point. I'm hearing that pure state of awareness, which is where unconditional love emerges, and that's where you are rooted in deep acceptance for not just yourself and your relationship with this vessel, but also for the things that you had inherited from those who have come before. And you're showing a different way. So the thoughts and forces that can unsettle you will leave you inevitably. I'm hearing lead you to a deeper wholeness. So it's almost like you are integrating these wounds, you're integrating and inviting the fear, and you're welcoming them into your calm state. So even amongst, I'm hearing the internal chaos that you've been feeling, because I'm seeing a lot has been rising in order to be purged within the vessel. I'm hearing these are powerful energetic shifts that are influencing, they're influencing your energy body. And I'm hearing, what is that? Okay, what is that? So the vessel that you've incarnated into is subject to this universe, to this matrix. And we have a very specific alignment that takes place in our solar system, And this shapes the energy that not just moves around us in this system, but also moves through us. However, your state of awareness and your plasma origins extends and branches far beyond this system. So you're anchoring in these high levels of awareness, and there could be a lot of, I'm hearing it's a time to get curious actually in regards to, why is there anger arising within the body? Why is there fear arising within the body? And where is that rooted in? And where does that come from? You definitely have a lot of self-awareness in regards to this, And what I was seeing was this could be read as almost like fears or traumas or maybe destructive habits of the inner shadow, and you're not erasing this aspect, again, this localized part of yourself when it comes to this dimension, right? This frequency of yourself that exists within you as an octave. You have high octaves and you also have low octaves, right? And you are weaving this into your story. You know, it's almost like you're inviting it in and you're showing it a different way. When I say it's almost like the fearful aspect of yourself. So growth comes in you being able to realize that fear is a bondage to man, especially when it comes to you being called to embrace the unknown during this time. We're going to go ahead and read it, but it's where you stand up and step beyond the influence of space and time, okay? And you're living above the chattering mind. That's what I'm seeing it as. So we'll go ahead and read it, right? First of all, let's talk about it. The seven star sisters birthing creation's tapestry of life and expression. This is the Pleiadian constellation. And if you think about this very specific dimension, it is more non-physical. They actually do not even have physical forms very much. It's just very intricate geometric structures. And this is what I'm seeing it as. You're holding and sustaining more truth and more light around the nature of this existence. And I'm hearing your true nature, because ancestrally, there's something that you're witnessing right now take place. I'm hearing you're a sacred witness to this unfolding, where I'm hearing it's nature versus nurture, but you are nurturing your nature. Okay, the nature that was disrupted, that was inverted, and your true nature is that you are a limitless being, you are infinite potential. And what you had inherited was an inversion of nature, was restrictions, was limitations, was fear, oppression, suppression, reducing yourself, dimming your light to try to fit in this system. And that is no more. It's like you've returned back into harmonic order. That's what it feels like. So we have perspective, zoom out, none of this matters, common ground. So with zoom out, it's about you zooming out from the storm, even like the chaos that you'll feel emerging within you, until it becomes a speck, until you realize that this vessel is just one of many countless life forms that you've incarnated into. And this very particular vessel, let me just break this down. Okay, I'm going to really just break this down, even though I know you know what I'm talking about. Let's just break it down to sim characters. Let's say sims have different kind of characteristics. You know, I've brought this up before, where some of them have the mooching ability, where, you know, they can basically have this parasitic system that they had not necessarily chosen, right, but had chosen on a soul level to take on and adopt. And have you ever seen sims at a certain stage, you can actually change the systems that they had incarnated into? That's what I'm seeing happen with you right now. There's almost like an update going on with your avatar. That's what I'm seeing, like almost like a firmware update that's taking place. And what you're witnessing is an identity rebirth. And you've broken out of a very specific mold, okay, of identity and belief systems that were attached to that identity. That's what I'm seeing. Those belief systems must also shed. Anyway, what else was I seeing? So in a higher octave is the realization that the chains have become loose, and I'm seeing a snake burst out of its own skin, and you can stand up and master your relationship with not just this vessel, but I'm also hearing like this matrix, okay? We have many taken twos to longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So this is some kind of work that you're doing, but within yourself. I'm seeing you clear debris, clearing, you know, crystallized thought forms that have become stagnant blocks in your field, okay? And I'm seeing this as a very specific geometric structure that you had incarnated into, and it would determine the energetic signature of the soul experiencing itself as human or through the human form. And you question not just this system, but you questioned the fundamentals behind it, I'm hearing. So this is about if you're choosing fear or love right now. Okay, and then you have Holy Girl, inner discovery, finding sacredness, you are what you seek. So I'm seeing you have hit almost like a jackpot internally. This is also like an Ace of Cups energy, but it's going within. Okay, this chalice represents the feminine, so it's as if you're returning back to your fluid nature. Anyway, what I'm seeing is that you have mastery over your mind, mastery over your emotions, and mastery over your relationship with this physical vessel. Now, what I'm seeing is, again, thought forms, okay, thoughts that have been reinforced generationally, that have become stagnated in your field, okay, the field that you were born into. I'm hearing through resonance is something that you have now cleared. You're seeing the information behind the emotions that have been arising within the body, and you're connecting the origin point. You've been asking all the right questions, is what I'm hearing. Where did this stem from? Did it stem from mum? Did it stem from dad? Was it dad's dad? Was it mum's mum? Right? How far down the generational lineage does this origin point stem from? And what was the moment that those belief systems were not just adopted from attaching to the construct of this matrix too deeply, but also I'm hearing mistaken as a form of identity and also passed down. So what I'm seeing, oh, there's something very specific for you. Hold on. You've remembered when incarnating into this vessel, there was a lot of density that you were immersed in, but you have now become buoyant, which has become less dense than the medium you're immersed in. And you've remembered yourself. You remember that I'm a figure of your imagination, right? You became so immersed in the dream that you forgot that it was a dream. And not that you were just dreaming this experience into being, but that you're actively living in your dream. I am merely a projection of your subconscious mind. Yep, you're lucid. Okay, you're lucid. Right, let's continue. The devil. So the vessel. This talks about complexities and also materialism. So this talks about a peculiar vessel that draws you in, like a familiar embrace from a partner. You feel a radiating energy and edge closer towards it. It whistles a seductive song and you become fixated. What you can focus on is the vessel and it urges you to open it. Okay, what I'm seeing is you've turned your attention away, not just from the material plane, but you are now formless inside of a system in form. Okay, but okay, this reality, you've informed this reality that you are now formless once again, playing through a form. All you can focus on right now is the vessel, and it urges you to open it. Ignoring the encryptions on the body, you remove the lid and everything around you goes dark. The most beautiful vessels can sometimes contain the most tragic stories. So this is the story that was told ancestrally that, the power is never in your hands. It always seems to be out of reach. It always seems to be external. And you are now rooted and grounded in your body. And you're moving through this system with intention in everything that you do. So as humans, we all have problems that we don't show on the surface. We fill ourselves with things that distract us from reality. And with the devil, it can also be aspects of ourselves that we may try to hide. Maybe it's, belief systems due to, the product of deep shame, okay, or guilt. I'm hearing, how dare you shine your light, you know? So if this card has shown up, it's time to rein in your demons. Notice how they said rein in, right? This is about developing a relationship of loving this aspect of yourself and integrating it. Because I'm hearing it's something innately encoded within you, but showing a different example. Showing your ancestors that continue to express themselves through you another way. Because I'm hearing they're continuing their existence through you. Your eyes are the window of the soul, and it's the window for those who have come before you to see what life on earth could be if you honor your intuition, if you trust yourself, if you navigate the system with this sense of wholeness, with a sense of remembering who you are and how that can determine the type of reality and dream that you'll create for yourself. So don't let the materialism, addictions, and obsessions of this world cloud your brilliant light. It can be all too easy to get wrapped up in the success that you start to lose touch with your soul. Even when the terrible is swallowing you whole, there is a light found in others. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. So with the devil and the vessel, and if you think about it, this is like a very deep wood. That's what it shows you, like a very deep red woods. And there is something that is, I don't want to say a distraction, but it seems like a distracting force. This system and this matrix is doing exactly what it does, and it's designed to exercise the soul. Okay, that's what I'm seeing it as. And you gain a kind of spiritual athleticism where when you turn your life force and attention outwardly, your energy flows. And I'm hearing you go unconscious every time you plug into the system, and your emotional body is overrun and overrunning almost like a filter of perception when viewing this reality, and it distorts the way that you see yourself as a creator. It's where your emotional state is dependent upon this world or a very specific event that could be unfolding in your reality. But your advice is to zoom out, because none of this matters. And the moment that you remember that this is an energetic simulation, when you remember that, I'm hearing the quote around this world, you don't see things as they are, you see them as you are. And I'm hearing there is a hidden opportunity, okay, an equivalent seed of opportunity within every seeming challenge. It's an invitation to get to know yourself deeper, and also those who have come before you, because there is a very specific pattern and ancestral loop that has been running through your generational lineage, and you are that point of divergence. You are a portal. Your DNA, which holds the memory of your cosmic origins and your origin point, which is source playing inside of its own creation, becomes a portal. When you anchor that awareness into your body, you get to apply your free will to acknowledge what arises and choose differently. It's never about the absence of fear. It's about acting even when that fear is present. Suppressing your weaknesses and rejecting it is not strength, okay? There is strength when it comes to integrating it and having mastery and compassion by being present in it and not through force. What are you ready to observe within you that you may try to hide or deeply suppress or repress without trying to erase it? I'm hearing you're not here to erase history. For if you were, if you change anything in the timeline in a linear fashion, it would completely disrupt nature. This is about how you can coexist with your shadow without trying to erase it, and instead come to a place where you can be centered in your higher self. You can view the situation through gamma perception, which is your higher self in physical form. It's superhuman consciousness. It's where you actually get curious. There's something around allow yourself to get curious in the discovery. You're discovering certain things that will give you the opportunity to develop a complete new relationship that you have with this vessel and this physical experience. So lean into it. With that being said, I'm going to love and leave you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. This is a very specific message that I had to get out. And personal reading details also down below. There will be a waiting list for October. Check out 𝓪𝓭𝓪𝓷𝓬 if you guys are looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. $1 of the proceeds are donated towards 𝓪𝓭 sanctuaries. And I'll speak to you very, very soon. Until next time. Bye.
Clouds in the sky don't care.